Kylr Coffman. Good to see you again, my friend. Welcome back to Popternative.
What's up? I'm stoked to be here. Fun fact, you gave me my first interview ever in this business. This is my first big role, and we were at TIFF about a year ago, and you met me on the red carpet. And
Dude,
to this day, you're still just as supportive, and I want to thank you for that.
Dude, thank you, and thank you for your time. I mean, we can finally talk about this. We have a lot to talk about, like, which is really, really exciting. All right, Nimrod's going to be in theaters. Really, really excited. Green Day film. I do kind of want to go way back, and I want to go way back, like not like the music component of the audition. Was there a music component in the audition? What was the music? Not the acting component of it. The music. Like, was it a prerequisite to know how to play an instrument? Like, what was that like specifically?
So I play the character Fred, the green-haired menace, and I'm the bass player, and I play some guitar in it. I originally was up for the drummer character, Chad, little Chad skis with the glasses,
Mhm.
because I grew up playing drums. I grew up here in small town Oklahoma, playing in garage punk bands. And so initially I was up for the drummer role and playing drums felt really comfortable with it. Then I remember we were in the Zoom audition, like the callback, and the director was like, "Hey, read for Fred. There's something about you that just seems like a menace. You're an agent of chaos. Read it." And we had so much fun reading it that the rest was just kind of history. And remember at the end of the Zoom call or the end of the audition, the director was like, you know how to play guitar, right? I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Because I'm not going to talk myself out of an opportunity. You think I'm crazy? And it was so fun. We got about a week to prep the music component of the film, learn all the songs, and the cast is so incredible. We worked so hard, and I'm so grateful for the time that we put into it because, like I said, I grew up playing music in punk bands, right?
Yeah.
And
Me
when you're
too, as well.
yeah,
So
you're right. And so you can understand that, growing up, you might not have all the money in the world or the resources or this or that, but you can start a band and that's sometimes the first thing that's your own. And it feels
Mhm.
like you guys versus the world. So I never approached this as like corny caricatures. I felt like this was a real world that I felt a responsibility to ground because my local music scene and being in bands gave me a family and a home and community that I didn't have. And
Yeah.
so yeah, the music component to me was just, I was so lucky the way that I grew up. And then as soon as they told me I was playing Fred, I could not put the bass or guitar down. Actually, like, here's the bass. I bought this thing the day I got the phone call. I booked it, drove to Guitar Center in Oklahoma City, and there's a picture of the Green Day dudes staring at you as you walk in. It was so surreal. And then just got this guy and was practicing every day till my fingers were bleeding, and I still can't put it down. I love
Yeah.
it.
No, dude, it's so cool. And then like it's interesting too, right? Because, you also have, an acting studio, right? Where you teach acting classes and everything. And I kind of wanted to ask you because I find it interesting when they get to see this film, like there's a lot of different kind of scenes in terms of kind of the setup and the preparation, right? There's a lot of scenes where it's like you and Mason and Ryan, like the band, but then there's like, the concert scenes or like a group scene or when you're going to meet Green Day. Did it, and like when you're performing, right? Did it sometimes feel like different movies, like preparing for different with them when you were playing like music versus kind of like walking with Mason and everything? Like I'm just wondering, or did it all feel like part of Nimrod's, like that process?
Yeah, the writing was absolutely incredible. Lee Kirk, the writer and director, and then the Green Day dudes created a world and a story that was so cohesive and great that it all felt authentic and it was easy to live inside of. So I'm so grateful I never felt like I was making two different worlds or movies.
Yeah.
And it was important for me. I would ask, some of the producers at times, like one of our lovely producers, Anna Keegan. I would ask her like, "Hey, is this reading corny like almost like a musical?" Because I didn't want it to be like, corny like musical sing-songy. That's not what the tone that I wanted to convey, neither. And when I talked to Lee, I know that he wanted to be authentic as well. We didn't want to be like, Halloween punk where we were like mohawks and chains and just like very caricature-y. So it was very, very authentic or very, very important to ground this in authenticity.
Fred's green hair, shout out. It's fantastic. Was that always the plan? Was that last minute? Like,
Ah, dude, I love talking about food. It's just the best. That question lit me on fire because it was so fun. This whole process, creating this character in this world was something I wish I could do over and over and over again. I'm thankful I got this opportunity. I remember driving into our first rehearsals and I was like, I really want to dye my hair. Like I had that inkling that I really wanted to do it. I felt like one of the characters should. I was like, this Green Day movie, like as a
Yeah.
Green Day fan, I wasn't going to have dyed hair. And then luckily the director asked me, he was like, hey, I feel like you're the character that needs to dye their hair. Do you want to do it? He was like, I was kind of feeling blonde, like just bleaching it, but what do you feel? And I was like, green,
Green
green.
Day.
I don't know
Yeah.
why green hair because green is not it's like my least favorite color. It was, but it grew up on me. And
Yeah.
then so this crazy thing happened that I was cleaning out my grandma's belongings recently, like I mean this past couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and I found a picture of me from when I was 13 years old, and it's me with green hair.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
so full circle, man.
it's
That's
so crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, so some kids, a lot of kids I feel like grew up with Marvel and well, my Marvel and my superheroes were punk rock
Yeah.
bands.
Absolutely.
People, the dudes in Green Day, the dudes in NoFX, the dudes in Operation Ivy, those were my superheroes. And I didn't, grow up wearing a Spider-Man mask, but I grew up dyeing my hair green, trying to do Trey Cool drum fills. And it's
Absolutely.
so crazy how full circle this has came.
100%. Well, I'm glad you brought up those bands because I have an exciting thing I'm going to do before I wrap this interview. So just like the great, keep those bands, like start thinking of some bands because it's going to make sense. But here, I want to kind of ask you super quick. I was so excited to ask you this question because in the movie, there are songs that you guys play like as analog dogs, right? And I know that you would have to have known those songs beforehand, right? Because you're playing those songs, right? And everything that you're filming, right? But I want to know, when do you, as Kylr Coffman, right, find out about the needle drops? Like what songs are going to be in the movie? Like, do you know what songs are going to be in the film, like even before filming? Like, do you kind of wait like everyone else afterwards, like which needle drops, what Green Day songs going to be used? Because that's what really excited me when I found out about this movie, right? Like I knew it was going to be a Green Day film, all the Green Day, but like what songs, like at what scenes, right? So I'm just curious when you found out about the songs.
Lee Kirk, our leader, our writer and director, it was all there in the script. It
Yeah.
was all
Okay.
mapped out. There were some little changes, like initially, I remember the draft that I got of the script before I showed up to rehearsal. It had us opening up the film playing Longview,
Okay. So it said the
and
songs, right? Like in the scene, it's like
yeah,
waiting
it would
starts to
say the
play.
song, and it
Okay,
still
great. Yeah,
starts
yeah,
with
yeah. Yeah.
Longview. Like I'm pretty sure it still starts with
Yeah, it
Longview.
does. Yeah, yeah, it
But
does. Yes.
anyways, I remember I saw that. So I had never played bass or anything before. I spent all that week leading up to it, like learning Longview, and it's not an easy bass line as your first bass line to try to learn. Dun, 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 dun. It's
Yeah.
gnarly. And I remember I learned it. I learned the whole song. I was super stoked and proud. And then I would show up to rehearsal, and Lee's like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. We're gonna start the movie this way. And I was like, okay.
Well,
And it was
the reason why I ask is because we've talked about I have a project, right, that's in the kind of band world that I'm working on right now. And like it's funny because it's like I have some songs in mind, but that's like down the road, like afterwards, what's gonna be. And so it says like, upbeat pop punk song, right? You know what I mean? And everything. So I was wondering if that was even like, because we know it's going to be Green Day, but maybe it was like, acoustic Green Day song or like upbeat, American Idiot song. Like I was just wondering how specific, but it's so cool that they were all like in the script. That's awesome.
it's super specific.
Oh my God, so cool. All right. So you're a big punk guy. I'm a big punk guy. We love music and everything. We're going to be making right now a little festival called Kylr Fest. So if you and Green Day is obviously in this festival, right? So they're the headliner. But if you would pick three bands to be part of this festival, who would they be? And it could be like bands you really enjoy, bands you haven't seen before, like go crazy.
Okay, like any band of all
Any
time or
band,
current band?
any band, like you know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's a lovely question. This is great. Oh my goodness. Well, of course, Green Day is headlining
Yeah.
because they're the biggest punk band,
Yep.
and I mean, I'm still giving Green Day the headline because
Yeah.
that's what I gotta say for media training, right?
Yeah.
But Beatles, I'm bringing back the Beatles.
Oh, so okay, we're
Yeah,
going like
of course.
yeah, we're going dream.
I
Yeah.
asked. I said,
Yeah,
"Hey, living or
absolutely.
dead?" That's
Ab-
I asked parameters.
Absolutely.
So definitely bring back the Beatles and bring back Title Fight. Bring back Title
Oh, that's
Fight.
a good one.
I know, right?
I love Title Fight. I saw Title Fight when I moved to Ottawa. Like I'm originally from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. When I moved to Ottawa, one of the first shows I went to go see was Title Fight. That was one of the first shows. Yeah.
That's yeah. I when I was growing up in high school playing in punk bands, I
Mhm.
got to play show because Oklahoma is a small scene, so I got to play shows with like Title Fight, Modern Baseball, The Story So Far, all those great
Remember
punk bands.
Polar Bear Club? I used to really be into
Oh
them. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
so fun. But
yeah.
yeah, so to fill
And
out
then we
this
needed, yeah, we need a lot. So
day,
Beatles Title Fight.
boys, Beatles, Title Fight, and then dude, let me just do something.
I can tag in too, because I
No,
know what you're thinking
Adrian,
too.
I think no, it's probably gonna be no, it's super simple. Like Adrian Linklater or the for the Big Thief band, like the singer from Big Thief,
Mhm.
absolutely incredible. She could
Yeah.
because I need to fall asleep eventually, and she can serenade you with the most heartbreaking lullabies. So yeah, I would do that. That'd be nice.
No, absolutely. I love doing the Dream Festival quite because there's so many different ways you can go with it, right? So like that's perfect. Any fun facts, fun stories, like FY like FYIs or like about like working with Green Day? Anything like a fun fact that people don't really anything you could share about like your time like working with the band?
Don't meet your heroes unless they're Green Day. It's everything. They are everything you think, hope, and dream that they would be as the rock stars they are and more. They are the coolest, biggest rock stars and the most humble, down to earth dudes. It it's so nice for this to be my first big opportunity and to be kind of stepping into the spotlight under the wing of Green Day because they show you how to be yourself in the spotlight, how not to compromise yourself and being authentic, and how to be kind to another person, no matter what you may have achieved. You're not better than anybody else. And they really live through those ethos. Like everything they sing and talk about is exactly how they live. They don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. And so I'm so grateful for my time with them. And really, like, one of the things I will share that they said and told me, Mike, we were just talking and he just reminded me about and talked to me about staying true to yourself and that not every envelope needs to be opened. Like there's going to be a bunch of shiny object dangled in front of your face, especially when you have a spotlight on you and those type of things. And you can open every envelope if you want to, but they don't need to be opened. You don't have to go scratch every single itch. Just be. And it was nice just to be reminded of that because it's something I believe, and to see that from one of your idols and to hear that from somebody that you really admire, it just reinforces that belief. And it was really nice for them to take time to give us this opportunity to create this film, to hire us, to take time to even talk to us. There are times where like they would send us merch or send us little gifts and all these things. It felt so special. I'm so, so very lucky to be in the Green Day camp.
Well, I'm gonna kind of add to that before we wrap up here. I don't even think I've told you this, by the way, because we've talked about stuff like this before, but I think you're hearing this for the first time. So I love being a creative. I played in bands, but I love also being a filmmaker. I just love creating things and like community and everything. And my dad took me to see Green Day when I was young, when I was like 12, 13, American Idiot tour. And it was Green Day with Newfound Glory and Sugar Cult when American Idiot came out. And that concert did something to me like create like made me so like it kind of got the creative like excitement energy that like I'll never forget. Like if it wasn't for that concert, I don't know if I would be here talking to you right now.
Hmm.
And I just find it's really exciting and cool and full circle that we're talking about a Green Day movie. You know what I mean? Because like honestly, like that concert, and I hope one day they hear this, but like that concert like made me want to be a storyteller and wanted to be a creative. And like it was like, dude, being at that show, there was nothing else like it. Like it was so good seeing everyone. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that. Like Green Day, for you and for me, big place in our hearts. You know what I mean? So I wanted to end that with that note.
So beautiful. Yeah. I mean, the DIY music scene, the punk rock ethos that Green Day inhabit.
Mhm.
Basically, the what I'm trying to say is all that culture from Gilman Street, CBGB, anywhere, all these local music scenes, that punk rock world, there's a flame that was lit by people who didn't like what was going on around them, and they wanted to speak truth to that power. They wanted to take care of their neighbors. They realized that they wanted something done and nobody else was going to do it. So DIY,
Yeah.
there's a culture and an aspect that comes out of the punk rock ethos that is so important to keep alive and to feed that flame. And I'm thankful that we have bands like Green Day who are keeping that alive. And then they go and make this movie so that way we can inspire the next generation of weirdos to maybe go pick up a guitar and make some noise because it's so, so very, very important. And I believe there still is a world outside of the internet. And that's why our band's name is Analog Dogs. And you don't see a lot of phones in the movie. I don't even think my character Fred could afford a phone or have internet. But when you have your best friends and you have a dream, you don't need the internet all the time. What's
Yeah.
important is right there in front of you. And that's so captured in this film. And I'm so excited because, like what you said, this music scene, live music, bands, it saved my life and it saved so many other people's lives. And if we can continue to keep that flame alive and continue to inspire people to go to a show or make some live music, what an amazing gift and opportunity that we get to do. And so that's why this film, this story, it's so much bigger than even just me or my character Fred. And that's what's so special about getting to talk about it. So I'm so grateful for your time, Petey, and thanks for letting me tell people about this
Dude,
experience.
absolutely. I can't wait for people to see Nimrods in theaters. It's going to be so amazing. And so it was so cool to see it at TIFF and be at the, premiere last year. And like now it's going to be in theaters. Kyler, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much. Congratulations, man.
Thank you for everything, Petey. Have a great day.
You too. This has been Pop Turn. If youtube.com/Pop Turn for previous episodes, you can catch Kylr Coffman as Fred in Nimrods, Green Day film. Going to be in theaters really soon. Until next time, it's Kyler and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.